What is good, y'all? It is Anime K here, and we are back with another reaction video today, and we're reacting to a video titled "What Happened to Black Clover." Now, Black Clover, I haven't watched the movie. A lot of people say it's good. I still need to watch it, actually. Today we're just reacting to a video, basically him talking about what happened to it, because the anime, I don't even know the last time the anime was even out. I don't know, because I started watching it late, really. I think the last time I even watched Black Clover was like 2019, so I don't know when it was even out. And the manga, I think, isn't the manga like, is it even monthly? I don't know what it is. Is it seasonal? I don't know what it is, right? But Black Clover has just not been around for a while, and yeah, I kind of forgot about this anime, to be honest. I love Black Clover. It's one of my favorite animes, but I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. So yeah, let's just see what's happening. Let's just react to it. So yeah, guys, if you like reaction videos like this, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, let's get to it.
Will Black Clover ever come back? Manga fans are enjoying the latest arc and everyone really liked the movie, so you would think the series is in a good spot. But you also have to consider that there's no anime right now, there's no statement in regard to when it's coming back, and the manga is on a seasonal release. In other words, the manga has these big gaps in between chapters, and it's been like 3 years since the last episode of the anime. So while fans are enjoying that content that is out, the reality is that there's a relative lack of content.
No, guys. Sorry to pause it already. Yeah, 2021 was the last time I watched Black Clover, not 2019. I wasn't even watching anime. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 2019.
Right now.
There we go.
As a result, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same thing. Will the series ever return to the levels of hype it had a few years ago? That's why in this video, I'd like to go over the state of Black Clover as a whole, discuss some of its issues, but also explain why it's got a bright future ahead. First, we should start with the biggest problem. The anime, specifically the fact that we don't have one. I mean, obviously we do, but we're not getting new episodes right now. The last episode came out in March of 2021. That was almost 3 years ago. In that time, there's been a ton of huge anime that have come out. Obviously, My Hero Academia being one of them. Whereas before MHA and Black Clover would sort of compete with each other, My Hero has still been releasing episodes in these last few years. And obviously My Hero is a bit more mainstream than Black Clover. Not just because of the gap, but clearly it only contributed to that. So in that respect, if you're a fan of the anime, you might be wondering what's going on. Even worse, you might be worried that the anime is never coming back. And to that, I can safely say that it's not going to be the case. If you are a fan of Black Clover, then you know that anime delays are nothing new. I think the current one makes like 3 delays. I think it's 3, but don't quote me on that. In any event, there's definitely been at least 1 or 2. And part of it is usually because of the typical anime problems like the anime catching up to the manga, which when you go back you can see this in the fair amount of filler episodes Black Clover has. But of course, this recent one is at least partly due to the fact that Studio Pierrot was working on the big movie. So the rational conclusion is that they put the anime on pause so they could focus on the movie. Some of you might...
If that's the case, then why? If that is the case, then just bring the anime back. The reason why I haven't watched the movie, because I didn't want the movie. I wanted the anime back. I didn't want the fucking movie, right? Sorry to swear, but I didn't want the movie. I just want the anime back. I'm sorry, no one was asking for a movie. No one was asking for it, all right? We just want the anime back.
Might be wondering why they don't just do like MHA and do a movie and the anime at the same time. And the logical conclusion is because this delay has allowed the manga to continue, especially since the manga has had its own delays. So when the anime does eventually come back, there will be plenty of space between the manga and the anime to properly adapt the source material. Unfortunately, we don't have any teasers for the next batch of episodes. Some people are saying 2024, but my gut feeling is something more like 2025. Either way, with the manga reaching its end and the movie doing as well as it did, I don't think it'll be much longer before we're getting new episodes of the anime again. But speaking of the movie, let's talk about how well that really did. Actually, before I do that, make sure to like the video if you're enjoying it so far. It's the easiest way to support the channel, and it helps spread the video to other viewers like you. Now, obviously Black Clover fans loved the movie, so when we talk about how it's part of the reason we don't have the anime right now, almost every Black Clover fan would probably say that it was worth it. 1, just because we finally got a movie after years of asking for one, and 2, because the movie we got was...
Really? Were people asking for a movie? I did not see anyone asking for the movie. Like, that might just be me, but I did not see anyone asking for the movie. Was it that good though, guys? You guys let me know in the comments below. If it was good, I might have to watch it. I might have to.
It's actually good. But more skeptic fans might not be as sold. Some people might say, yeah, it's cool, we got a movie, but most people could only see it on Netflix, and we haven't had the anime for 3 years. I personally haven't seen the movie yet. I keep saying I'm going to, and then I just don't make the time. I heard
Same.
nothing but great things, but I was curious how well it actually did, so I did some quick research. The movie had a limited release in Japan, and everyone else got it on Netflix. In 2 days after it released, the movie did something like $330,000, which, really isn't that much money, especially when you look at how much money these other anime movies are doing. So when you look at it like this,
Jesus.
some people might take that number and be like, bro, this movie was a flop. But here's why that's really not true. First, I'd like to point out that COVID might have been a big factor in the turnout for this movie. Second, this was a limited release, so we don't know how many theaters they even showed the movie in over in Japan. And finally, this is one of, if not the only anime movie that was available for streaming right away. I don't know about Japan, but if they had it on Netflix too, it's like, well, why would I go to the movies if I can just watch it at home? Even if they didn't, everyone else could still do that. And you look at its performance on Netflix, and the movie got a ton of views. So did the movie sell a lot of tickets? No. But Black Clover fans finally got a movie. The movie was great, and it performed really well on Netflix. Overall, the movie was clearly a big success. Maybe not a major blockbuster hit like one of the Demon Slayer movies, but still, it checked off a lot of big boxes. So obviously that means that series is saved because it got a really good movie, right? Well, now we gotta talk about the manga. And this is where things aren't as straightforward, because the manga has had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And to get to the bottom of this, we need to go back to the end of the last arc, the Spade Kingdom arc. Actually, before I go on, it should go without saying that if you're not caught up on the manga, the next part of the video will contain some spoilers.
Damn, you know what? I'm not reading the manga, but you know what? I'll firm the spoilers. Whatever, I'll firm them. It's been so while since I've seen the anime at this point, so I was gonna start reading the manga soon anyway. So whatever.
Prior to this
I'll
arc,
firm
we
them
had
for
the
you
joint
guys.
Struggle arc. This arc, without a doubt, is one of the biggest in Black Clover. We got a time skip with all new character designs and abilities. In particular, we got a beefed up Asta and the new character Noct. We got the Dark Triad.
I don't like Asta with all those muscles, you know. Sorry to pause again, but I don't know, man. I just don't think it looks good on his character. His small body with just those big muscles. I don't know, fam. It doesn't really. It just doesn't really look good to me. I don't know.
Triad and their fights. And best of all, we got the insane team up between Asta and Yami. You take all that,
But that was in the anime.
next arc with tons of hype like the series has never seen before. And then the Spade arc starts off really well. It has a lot of things going for it. For example, Magna versus Dante is still one of the best fights in the entire series. You also have Yuno versus Zenon, another incredible fight that had tons of build-up. But this arc isn't without its flaws. Personally, I felt this arc had some pacing issues that made it drag on at times. A lot of people felt that some of these fights were big letdowns and that certain characters didn't live up to their potential. Another big one is the fact that almost nobody in this arc dies, which of course has been a big problem with the series since the beginning, but you get to the biggest war in the series and it's still a problem. Suddenly, it really bothers people. And to top it all off, you obviously have Lucifero. There's a number of issues with him. First off is the fact that he's like the king of devils, and yet all he really does is punch people. And then there's the fact that his fight just isn't that good. It feels last second, it's not as cool as the previous fights, and it feels like the characters win too conveniently. Which I know there's plot reasons for that, but still. Coming off of what everyone viewed as a near-perfect arc, you finish the Spade arc, and now people aren't really that thrilled with the manga. Then the new arc begins shortly after, there's another time skip, and we get the big plot twist that Julius was Lucius, the other sibling of the Dark Triad, and he's been plotting to take over the world from the beginning of the story. After the manga goes on hiatus, Asta is defeated and he's sent to the Land of the Sun where we meet the Shogun, Ryuya, Yami's sister Ichika, and we're introduced to Zeten, which expands Asta's use of his ki. The arc continues, but then we get more delays, people start saying the chapters are getting shorter, and then finally it's revealed that the manga is going to be delayed again as it moves to Jump Giga, meaning that it will now be released quarterly rather than weekly. So you take all of this, and to a lot of people, it might seem like the Black Clover manga is dead, that the series is just on a downward spiral that it'll never recover from. But You wanna know what? That's a big load of crap. Admittedly, I had issues with the Spade arc in the current arc, so after a while, I kinda just dropped the manga. But while I've been catching back up on Jump, I went back and started over. I went back to the Lucius plot twist and reread all 30 or 40 chapters. And on a second read through at my own pace without everyone yelling on Twitter, this arc is actually pretty good. While it still feels redundant, I like the Julius twist and it works really well. Some people say that Black Clover is just copying One Piece and Wano, but Yami's homeland was established ages ago, and the Land of the Sun is clearly very different from One Piece's Wano. And while none of these fights are nearly as hype as, say, the joint struggle arc, I think the fights we've seen have been pretty solid. I'm obviously curious to see how this final battle plays out, but I'm really liking this arc now. I think most of the problems I thought this arc had were just Black Clover haters yelling on Twitter. For example, a lot of people were saying before how the chapters were getting shorter and shorter, and they definitely feel short. Like, some of these chapters are only like 13 pages. But then I was like, how short is short really? So then I looked at Black Clover's rival, My Hero, and guess what? Some of the My Hero chapters are just as short as Black Clover chapters. Then I looked at One Piece and JJK, and guess what? They're basically the same as Black Clover.
Yeah, JJK
so
is
where
short,
I thought
man.
Black Clover was racing through chapters, in reality, it was mostly all in my head. Which brings me back to my big question. Should we be worried about the future of Black Clover? Absolutely not. On the contrary, I think Black Clover fans have a lot to be excited for.
I'll answer that question quickly, right? Yeah, you know what? Black Clover could probably not come back for the next 5 years, and it could release and it'd still be big. I'm sorry, it's still really big. Like, if Black Clover could come back in the next 10 years, and I'll still watch it. So I don't think it has a problem in that sense. I feel like the anime is already established enough where it's like, I guess you can take this break and people will still watch it. I still think it's better than animes like My Hero, Demon Slayer. So yeah, I mean, I'll still watch it anyway, no matter how long it takes. I just think it's just a bit annoying, I guess, because you've seen so many of these new animes come out, and then as a Black Clover fan, you're like, well, where's Black Clover?
We have a great movie. We should be getting new episodes in the next year or so. If they're anything like the last season, they'll look amazing. And there's a lot to look forward to in the final arc of the manga. If anything, I'd say there's reason to be skeptical of how Tabata sticks the landing with this ending, but like I said, this arc is actually pretty good. So while Black Clover might feel like it's on the sidelines right now, especially compared to some of the big series, the reality is that there's a lot to be excited for. Because of that, fans can be confident that Black Clover has a bright future. But now I'd like to hear what you think. What do you think?
I mean, I still can't believe that Julius twist. If you guys watched the end and you didn't mind the spoilers, I cannot believe that Julius twist. But yeah, for me personally, my opinion, I feel like, look, no matter how long it takes, it'll still be big, it'll still be popular. You know, I'm gonna start reading the manga as well, actually. I don't think Black Clover will really have a problem being big. I just think in terms of the movie, it's just a bit annoying the fact that you spent all this time bringing out a movie when people want the anime. And I get it, you don't want the anime to catch up to the manga, and I don't know how close the anime is to the manga. I'd have to actually read the manga and see for myself, but oh, it's so annoying. That's the one thing that's annoying about animes, is like when they're always like, we need to catch up to the manga. I mean, we don't want to catch up to the manga, I get it, but wow, man. But Black Clover fans, let's pray that at least in the next, how long's it been now since 2021? 3 years? At least in the next 1 to 2 years we get more of the anime. But here's to praying. But guys, if you like reaction videos like this, let me know in the comments below, and we'll get some more done for you. But this has been Anime K. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Thank you for watching, listening, or however you choose to indulge my content, and peace. I'm out.